Hello, everybody.
Can you hear me?
They
Yeah.
can help me. I need you.
Hello.
This is Dave. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dave. This is
Can you
Tony.
hear?
Hey, Tony. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey, you got Jason on there?
I'm
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Hey,
All right,
Lincoln has Zoom
guys.
at 4:15. I need to set alarm so you can get him on there. Okay, and then let me know at 4:30.
All right. We all ready?
I think
Can you hear
so.
me?
All right, guys. Well, welcome to another Q&A. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. Running a little behind schedule, rushing over here, but doing great.
All right. Beautiful. All right. So, everybody, thank you guys for joining in for another SIRC's Q&A. Ready to get ready whenever you guys are?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you,
Yep.
Jason.
I can hear you.
All right. Perfect. Awesome.
Today we got Jason with us and Dave. And all right. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off with question 1. What are SIRC's plans to establish an independent audit committee as required for uplisting beyond OTCQB?
Our first goal is to get to the QB and get the audit done, which everyone knows has been a challenge who's following us. And we're on track now, and we're going to focus on that. Then we're going to work on uplisting to the NASDAQ would be our next step. And we're very aware that we need an audit committee for that. But we got to do step by step.
All right. Beautiful. Where can we find the list of the USA Solar Network dealers and installers in every state?
I'm pretty sure it's on their website showing all the different states that we're in. It was part of the press release that we put out when we acquired them. I think we put the map of where all the dealers are. Should be very easily available.
All right, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Dave, you've had mentioned a series of share buybacks when Brian Milholland's preferred shares were converted to a common and retired. Does this series of buybacks also include shares already issued on the open market? And if so, what is the volume of the shares that SIRC is looking to buy back on the open market? What is the number of preferred shares that will be converted and retired from the total authorized shares? And what is the timeline for these events?
These guys are asking some good, tough questions this time. I like this. The Brian Milholland 50 million common, 5 million preferred, 50 million common shares have been retired. We're getting ready to do another round of that probably within 30 days. We're going to retire some of mine as well. That's already been approved by the board. I'm going to retire my 5 million preferred and 50, that converts to 50 million common. It's going to be taken care of. And we're in the process. We're very, very close to could a deal with a private bank of getting $50 million in cash, and where our goal is to gobble up close to 50 million outstanding shares at that time. That's nothing's concrete, nothing's done, but that's our plan.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Does the Solar Integrated Roofing Corp have plans to work with a company like Fourth Wave Energy, which focuses on the solar panel durability, install efficiency, and longevity?
I'll give that question to Jason.
Jason.
I haven't heard of Fourth Wave Energy, but what I do know is we are actively expanding our reach, and we're getting our installs done in a way faster timeline than we have in the past. And so our revenue numbers are increasing dramatically as a result of that from the point of sale to others. And we're actually, we have USA Networks, which is an incredible network across nationwide, as well as FHP, Future Home Power, has a network, and we just give a background. I worked in the summer program where a majority of our revenue was generated during the summertime, and currently we actually are producing just as much. Like last month and this month, when 20 of our sales representatives left, we were within 200,000. So we're expanding very quickly, and things are looking really great for us to grow the business in that way.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks, Jason.
All right. Are there a bigger commercial or government projects being bid on? Like Pacific Lighting is listed as having this type of target customer.
Both US Solar Network and Plimco have that target customer. I know US Solar Network's commercial side, I believe, is over $3 million this quarter, and commercial projects could be higher.
I do know of one project that. So there's a lot of space, not only with USA Network, but FHP and the commercial, that we are absolutely getting more aggressive in building the infrastructure so we can take on these bigger projects and have more revenue for being produced as well.
Okay. And Plimco, as I finished, Plimco bids on large government projects daily. Their pipeline of bids, I can't tell you exactly what it is. I don't talk to Tim every day, but I know he's overwhelmed with the amount of proposals he's putting out. Obviously, some of those will turn into projects.
All right. Very nice. So, SIRC needs to tie in somehow to the mega chip factories being built in Arizona by INTC, TSMC. Those factories are huge and consume a lot of power, and they have a mandate to reduce carbon footprint. Are we going to go after these opportunities as well?
That's a great question. That's in Pablo's backyard. I'm sure if there's a possibility to get in front of someone, he will. But the key is, you have to get in front of someone. Typically when projects like that come out, they have plans, they have contractors in place, and they typically have their subcontractors in place. But if it's possible, we would love to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Have the auditors given you guys any update to when the completion will be?
I had a call with Wanda, our CFO, this morning. She said things are on track. They're coming to San Diego to check out inventory next week, I believe, to do some final things. They're pretty confident they'll be done by the end of the month. That's the latest update I got today.
Beautiful. All right. Now, what does the 83 mil of goodwill on the balance sheet entail?
I'm not an accountant, but typically with goodwill, it's the value of the customer base of some of the subsidiaries that we purchase. It's a valid asset that you can't really put a number on, so they call it goodwill. So that's what I guess that's what that looks like over the course of our 13 companies.
Okay. All right. Now, has the share structure changed since it was last reported via the OTC markets on August 2nd?
I don't check that daily. I know that we have some bonuses that in place that we issue shares for. I don't know if Pablo has been issued his shares since then. So there's a possibility it's changed a little bit, but nothing drastic.
Okay. All right. From Televit, do we have any updates on the legal proceeding between Pablo and SING?
I just recently asked Alex about that. I'm checking his response. I think the update is SRC is completely out of it, and I think it's kind of turned where Pablo is kind of going after them more than they're going after him. I don't know all the details, but it's definitely no effect on SRC. It's basically
good. Now, It was mentioned by Dave back in May, by you, Dave, back in May, the possibility of the acquisition of the major EV charging company and also the CEO of the company becoming the director of SIRC's EV charging division. Is there any update on that?
We're still speaking with him, and I'm speaking with another EV company currently. I'm getting them an NDA out today. Well, he's just trying to expand in the EV division. Our strength with solar and EV is something that ties into it well. We need a good, strong position in the EV space for sure. So I'm pretty confident that if we do work out the deal with the private bank and the $50 million, we will go after that asset again. I'm really trying to do acquisitions without issuing any more shares, so we're kind of waiting on that cash.
Of course. Okay. All right, from Charlie. Looking at the revenue exponential growth, when do you estimate unofficially the company could start being profitable?
We did a PR on this today. I don't have the numbers now, but based on what I see throughout all the subsidiaries, I would guess we are profitable now as we speak, as we sit. Probably won't show up in the second quarter. I don't think June and July we were profitable. I think in August we start to turn the corner with that added revenue of FHP and U.S. Solar Networks. But I'm very positive by end of our third quarter we will be profitable, and we'll have good profitability. We've really cut a lot of costs. We've combined a lot of resources, and we're getting the synergies in place. That profit is our big focus now. Not that it wasn't always a focus, but growth was our focus originally. Now we're really trying to fine tune things.
All right, beautiful. Let's do it. All right, are there any updates on receiving government grants?
I just got an update today from my grant guy. He's I think I mentioned earlier, he might be the best sales guy in the world. He's very, very positive about it. He thinks we'll get a couple, and we've applied with SRC, Plemco, and Cornerstone to get a grant, and he thinks we'll get some other bills coming up. He thinks we'll get, but no solid word. Yes, this is all just possibilities.
And I really strong connection that I could reach out to that does this, and he does a really good job with getting grants approved. So that's something I'll work on too as well from just that question. So great question.
All right, beautiful, Jason. That was Beach Bum Jeremy. All right, another one. There have been numerous rumors about a buyout from a larger company. You've mentioned being approached in the past. Has there been any additional inquisitions about the buyout?
There's been no progress on that, and currently. We've had a couple folks that they're looking at us, but nothing's happened since.
Okay. That's going to be good and bad. All right, from Televit, we have you scheduled your first American contractor or contractor coach pro solar educational seminar?
Yes, we have it scheduled for September 23rd in Austin, Texas. I've already bought my ticket. I will be there. It is almost completely sold out. There's a lot of excitement around it.
Oh man, okay. I was gonna say if so, how would I go about signups?
You'd probably have to go to either American Contractor to check it out or Contractor Coach Pro. They're the one who's doing the promo on it. I'm a little bit on the outside of that. I'm just going to see the process. Pablo's actually running the event.
All right, very nice. All right, you've mentioned a few times about the goal to reach NASDAQ 2022. Is that still the goal now that you've discovered how time-consuming and tedious the audits are?
Yes, it is. It's second quarter. It's very much our goal. Second quarter of 2022.
All right, let's do it. Any further discussion with the generator company you mentioned in the last Q&A?
I actually reached out to him today. You must think I had a busy day today. He's out of town. He's looking to get together next week. Okay. To do a licensing agreement.
All right, beautiful. So by the next Q&A, hopefully we got an answer. Beautiful. All All right. Is there any other update on the name changes? Like, have you considered holding a contest or brainstorming session to let shareholders name the company?
We have not thought about that. We've got a couple name changes we're looking at. We bought the domain Solar EV, and we own that. It was fairly expensive. Yeah, we're kind of holding off on the generator piece to see if we're going to possibly change our name to U.S. Energy Solutions or something that, or stick with Solar Integrated Roof Corp or go to Solar EV. But we got too many moving pieces right now to make a change.
All right. So it's kind of off subject. How much is the total debt that we're looking at right now, and what is the plan in order to pay it off?
Total debt is probably about $17 million. It is all convertible debt at a premium, 5 times share price at the time of the debt. So this debt will be paid off converting to shares at 5 times the share price. It converts at $3 to $5 a share. So let's say if it converts at $3 a share at $17 million, we could get the debt paid off with less than 6 million shares. A nice way to pay off $17 million when your stock price is 42 cents, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Big day today. Jumped through the hoop of the. Never thought I'd be so happy to see 40 cents.
I was going to say, this is great. A milestone reach. All right, Seminole 94. Are you still comfortable with the CFO situation? At some point in time, will you be hiring dedicated in-house CFO to deal with the SOX issue and processes?
The first question, we were very, very happy with Bailey. Matt and Juan are great. Not only do we have a CFO, we have a CFO team, lots of experience, lots of guidance. They're being very, very helpful. I'm sure at some point, probably on our way to NASDAQ, we'll bring in a NASDAQ CEO and a NASDAQ CFO. That's my guess. That should be second quarter next year.
Okay. Something to look forward to. Revenue projections for this fiscal year was set at 100 mil. Do you expect to meet, or exceed expectations?
I sure don't like missing expectations. We're growing like crazy. I just got the sales numbers for this quarter. They're right at 25 million. I think sales numbers next quarter could easily double. I think we'll be right there. We'll be close. Okay. Depends on how this last quarter goes. Last quarter sometimes can be a little tough with the holidays and the weather. But at the same time, we'll have FHP and US Solar Network going full blast, and we'll have the contractors program going to full blast as well. So we expect some big changes over the next 3 months in our numbers.
Very nice. Very nice. EV charging company, ChargePoint, has a similar capital structure and sales as compared to the SIRC, yet their market cap is 40 times greater. Could we get a comprehensive update to the PLEM Co. on the EV business, current and forecast?
Of course. It would be a project we would have to work on. We could have it ready for you for the next Q&A if you like.
Okay. Yeah, no, that would definitely be good. All right. And are all the subsidiaries realizing increased revenues and profits? If not, which ones are struggling and or losing money?
We're at a good turning point. We have, due to some of the consolidation and the synergies that we put together, we've turned the corner. I think I got to say all the subsidiaries are making money at this point. We've really cut a lot of cost, and we've combined a lot of the companies, and Scott's doing, the roofing side was struggling probably the most, and Scott's doing a good job of really getting that turned around. Cornerstone kind of lives on storms. They have not had a storm in South Carolina. They're still having record sales over last year, and we're working very, very hard to increase our solar side. So we think we can double our revenue with our marketing program we're putting in place in Cornerstone. So overall, everything's turned, and that's why I'm confident we'll have profit next quarter because all the subsidiaries are making money.
All right, nice. And now, are there any updates on any bank or private investment institutions willing to invest in the SIRC?
We have a private bank I mentioned last time that wants to put a deal together for $50 million. I spoke with him today. His words were, "Dave, it's going to happen. It's take a little longer than I thought."
There you go.
Which will be a key. We're going to use that for acquisitions and share buyback.
There we go. Beautiful.
And just to raise value for our shareholders.
Beautiful. All right. Are the contingencies to mobilize to areas of the country hard hit by weather events that you don't necessarily have SIRC service nearby? For example, like Iowa.
Did Iowa have a recent storm or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I know it's kind of, that's a good question. On my way driving here, I got a call from it's kind of a similar company as a Contractors Pro. He works with contractors, and he's working on how to get roofers into doing solar. He's really going to focus on New Orleans after the storm, because everyone, I guess, after a hurricane, they need roofs there, and he thinks solar is going to be a big piece because they've been out of power for a week. And he said, "Dave, my partner that I'm working with now does not cover New Orleans or Louisiana. Do you think you and U.S. Solar Network can handle that?" And he was talking really big numbers, so it's falling in our lap. We're not really working towards it, but it fall in our lap just today. Getting in that area, he acts like a huge opportunity there.
all right, that's a good sign. All right, if awarded the federal grant money, how would your subsidiary apply to funding to grow the business and increase shareholding value?
The big reason we put in the request for the for the grant was to increase our EV division, and so we would use it to expand the EV division. The solar side is expanding quite well on its own.
All right, very nice. So regarding the audit, now that it is near completion, are there any surprises that we should be aware of?
Just to be clear, the audit is auditing SIRC, any company that was owned before February 28th of this year is the audit. So it's kind of a pre-growth audit. They're auditing McKay, Secure, Montrose, Milholland, and not any of the bigger subsidiaries. So I think I don't want you guys to be surprised when you see our audit is nowhere near the numbers that we're doing now, because it's basically an audit from 6 months ago. We've changed a lot since then. That might be the big surprise.
All right, good. We all like surprises.
Only if they're good surprise.
Exactly. All right, beautiful. All right, do we have enough boots on the roofs to complete all the sales that we have as reported?
Jason and I just had a meeting about that today. That's one of the reasons I was late. I was with Jason. It sounds like we're getting caught up on the installs, and as he mentioned, they're getting installed faster and much more efficiently, and it seems like we have our arms around it. But he's telling me that he's going to really expand sales here again, so we have to keep our toes with Jason around.
Yeah, we've done a good job with our network to be able to get these jobs in faster. And now that the summer is over, we have a lot of people in other industries that are looking to come and join our company. And with the opportunity to be in a public company, it allows us to have more outreach where we're more established in other solar markets.
All right.
We're in a...
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were cutting out for a minute there, but I can hear you now.
We catch Jason.
All right. So, does the company currently collect outstanding payments quickly enough to run operations smoothly and grow the company?
Yeah, cash flow is not really a problem. We typically get paid right when the job's completed, and the jobs. What started only lasts a couple days as far as the solar side goes, so cash flow is good.
All right. So, from Charlie81, is SIRC's developing solar SAS model in partnership with the Toolbox OS company? And if so, could you provide some details?
We've been working with Nick and G over at Toolbox for a while now. We were hoping to develop some proprietary software that could just run SRC. It's been a little challenging. It's very, very expensive. It seems like we found some existing software that's working for us now. So that's not a very high on our list project currently.
Okay. All right. So now, what are some of SIRC's strategies in bringing in more attention and awareness about the company to the world? Are there any plans to getting interviews in, like, as media outlets out there of any sort?
Um, as you know, we just did the guys did the NASDAQ interview. And that was I think that was a pretty big hit. They did a great job. When we first started, we worked with an old IR firm in New York City called Porter LeVay. I've recently been speaking with Mike Porter about possibly getting back in touch with him to see if we can deal with some of his relationship and get some new blood in here. And we're working through that. At the same time, we're aware of cost and we want to make sure we're spending the money in the right place. And just today, we've confirmed a relationship with Duchess Capital, which is a huge company who wants to work with us to get us get us our debt structured the way they want it, and help us with IR and help put our stock in their portfolio, get us some more upside. So we're excited about that. We should be making an official announcement about that next week. We're just waiting on we have a verbal agreement, just waiting to sign the final term sheet.
All right, beautiful. And besides installing solar panels on traditional roof or ground, are we looking for any innovative use of solar and solar installations, maybe through partnerships such as solar water heater or solar powered bikes or portable solar powered devices, etc.?
Jason, you can handle that one.
As far as, sorry, you were cutting out. Could you repeat that last question?
Yeah, besides installing solar panels on the traditional roof or ground, are we looking for more innovative use of solar and solar installations, maybe through partnerships such as like solar water heater, solar powered bikes, or solar powered devices?
As of right now, we have some partnerships with Enphase where there's some new technology coming out where the solar system will actually work during the daytime as if it was like a battery. So if a customer needed like a MPU, like a main panel upgrade, they won't need that any longer. This new technology will allow that. And so we partnered up with Enphase on that, and that's going to be rolling out in a few months. But as far as some of those other questions, and specifically, we are working where we're at with the other stuff mostly, but not on some of those projects. But we have some really great technology that we're expanding out to that is becoming a big hit with other people.
Okay. Very nice. Something to look forward to. All right, so now back to that NASDAQ interview. What was the goal of the recent interview? Do you feel that the goal was attained?
The goal was to reach new investors and to give them, I think Troy and Pablo did a great job of explaining our business model now and our success that we're having as we're building the synergies between all the subsidiaries. And I think what was attained. I got a lot of good feedback on it, and I think we reached a large audience, and the share count was up after the interview. I think it was very, very well received.
Have you had a chance to personally view these paid interviews? And if so, did you have any reservations to the sound effects? Like the constant sound and video effects felt highly unprofessional, and overwhelming majority of the followers/investors are disappointed that it was allowed to air. Can investors expect more appropriate interviews moving forward?
That's a shame. I think the company that did the interview, I think they're very, very qualified. I watched the interview on my phone. I didn't really see the sound effects. I didn't see the problems. They obviously will try to do the best job that they can for us.
Yeah, no, of course.
I think the message got across. I think the guys did a good job.
All right, beautiful. What are the plans to properly update all of the company's LinkedIn to show the appropriate amount of employees?
I don't know if we had a plan, but I'm sure Troy is listening to this, and if Troy sees this, he'll probably get right on it.
All right. In the light of today's news release of profitable as early as this Q2, do we anticipate further acquisitions will be cash-based versus share insurance?
Share issuance. We covered this earlier with the $50 million piece that we're looking to get. Our promise to you is we're not going to do anything at this point with acquisitions to mess up the audit or the uplist. And if we do an acquisition, we would like to mainly use cash, and we will get it audited first, so it's something we can roll up very easily.
Okay. Jason, this one's for you. Can you paint us a picture on how you see a rollout into the new market FHP play out? Like, say, timeline, leadership, expectations.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yes. So we've actually done quite a bit of acquiring leadership talent ourselves. Kind of acquisitions of smaller dealerships that we haven't announced to the public at all that don't need to, because it wasn't a share transaction. They wanted to be part of FHP's broader picture and to drive revenue. So we have some really incredible sales leaders that are on board with our company and are helping build and scale. And so we are opening up markets like Riverside right now, where we have crews and more in California throughout, as well as we have about 20 sales representatives that just went to college that are graduating in January. They actually finished early so that they can jump on board with how well they did. We had some of our sales representatives this last summer, that first year ever working in our industry and selling, that made over $200,000 in commissions because they did that well with our program. And now they're starting to tell all their friends of the unique opportunity and how well they did as sales representatives in the field. And so they are, as a result, we're just expanding and promoting a lot of the people internal. So we've been building out this internal competition mechanism drives everybody to succeed in a big, big way as well. So we're really looking forward to that.
All right, beautiful. What top two markets are you planning to roll out, and why?
Central California, as well as like Florida, partly because the
Kind of cutting out.
Sorry, 1 second. Someone was calling me. As far as Texas is one that we're absolutely opening up, Florida and in California. And the reason why is I'm sure you guys heard about what happened in Texas recently when those power outages went up and people were getting sky high bills. People love the idea of ownership and owning their power. So as a result, that's one of the markets that already have a network of people there that live there, that we can switch from one company to ours that are already really talented salespeople that can create millions of dollars in revenue really fast.
Okay. What are your top two solar products that generate the most sales, and why do you feel that way?
Um, One is just the solar, for the home, and then batteries are probably next. And the more people are interested in batteries because there's so much uncertainty in the world right now, and they love the control of having a lower payment than their electricity bill is, and it's fixed where it doesn't go up. Everything is going up right now: stock appreciation, inflation, home prices, and even the cost of other things. So people want to be off the grid. So batteries as well as solar projects have been really on people's minds, and it's actually going quite well. Where the job has become easier as a result of the economy too.
Okay. And another one for you, Jason. What are your top three sale metrics you pay attention to? Example, like lead and close ratio, lead generation per rep ratio, and sales per head count. And why?
Well, the biggest thing that we have is a really unique program, and what we track is appointments created and then closed deals. And so why we do so well is we reward the best closers. So we have a team of 20, 30 guys per market and team area where they go out and generate leads. And then we have people that have graduated through a program and become really good closers, close those. And we track the percentages of sits to close. And that's how we can kind of see who's improving and doing well. And we have our best people that are our best closers train some of the other people. And it's incredible what we've been able to see with some of these guys going through our program, from no sales experience at all to making six figures in a relatively short time, in a quarter. Like we have reps that go through our program, and within a quarter of a year, they're making six figures because they're learning this. And no other sales organization that I know of is doing this so quickly with the raw talent. So what we're trying to do right now is expand and recruit more bodies into our program, because we have a really incredible system that is producing really great results.
Jason's being a little bit modest. I tell Jason he's the Michael Jordan of sales, and he not only can he sell, he can teach. If you ever see a sales meeting, sir, I walk in there, I want to go out and sell something.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm kind of hung up my sales hat. He does a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're seeing too, is existing people that have sold already, that are great salespeople, come into our program, and because our expectations are high and the level of success that we're attracting the talent, people rise up because they want to compete and they want to go head to head against someone else. And so that's one of the things that we continue to build.
All right, very nice. Now, could you share with us how you would pay commission to the contractors and dealers on the USA Solar Networks? Like, is it a cash payment or the company shares? If cash payment, is it a percentage of the sale?
The US Solar Network is exactly that. It's a network. So you have the sales team that gets paid a certain percentage. Then you have the equipment that you have to pay for. Then you have the financing that typically costs money. And then you have the install. So you have four different pieces. The network controls those four pieces, controls the cash. Then they keep like a 15% margin that's left over from the deal. Is how it works.
Okay. All right. Does the chip shortage affect solar sales in any way? Like, are you guys seeing any supply issues that could hinder growth?
Only buying vehicles for the workers. It's been a bit of a problem.
Okay.
We actually did a good job. I mean, with COVID, there's a lot of delays with a lot of things because production of a lot of items are hard to get. But we did a good job at stacking lots of panels in lieu of all this. And so in the warehouse, we have quite a bit of inventory, and we're continuing to be proactive with our growth trajectory to acquire more panels and have the inventory that we need.
All right, beautiful. Beautiful. What was the 10 mil in added shares to the OS and the unrestricted for?
I got to ask that on my way here. I can't control everything. Obviously, we have some investors who we had an investor who had outstanding note that he converted. I typically try to stop those if I could. I could not stop it. It went through.
Okay. All right. So if you guys can you please explain how the association within the SIRC Discord channel, specifically the difference between admin -3, MODS3, OTC management, level 2 through 5, level 1 through 20. I understand admin 3 and OTC management, but are there any other group advisors, employees, or investors?
I sure can't. We're on Discord because of our association with MediaTek. I believe MediaTek could probably answer that question best.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. What happened to the partnership with Big Energy Company?
I saw the question. I'm not sure what they're referring to.
All right.
We are a big energy company.
With the Big Energy Company. Yeah, that one I'm going to have to get back to. Why does the audit not include all subsidiaries? Isn't that a requirement to a list?
Not to the QB. The reason we had to, if you recall, early this year, we filed the Form 10, and we need SEC approval for that. The SEC says if you can't get all your subsidiaries audited in the 90 days that they need to be audited, then we're going to be very upset with you. So we pulled the Form 10, and we're just going to QB. QB says, hey, you only need to audit last year's companies going forward, and that's our plan. We'll get the audit done for the QB. As soon as that's done, we'll do that uplist, put the auditors and CFO back to work, and we'll start knocking out the rest of the company. That's why NASDAQ is second quarter next year. We actually really have a plan this time that we're sure we can execute on.
Okay. What percentage are your solar sales also get to the roof added onto later, and how does that play into the overall sales plan? Margin impacts, commission expenses, etc.
That's a good question. It kind of depends on what subsidiary you're looking at. We have U.S. Solar Networks, and we have FHP that have a couple different business models. But our retail side of things with SRS, McKay, and Milholland, we probably do a roof 90% of the time we do solar. And mainly having that combo package, we get the same margin on both services, but it just affects, you just get a larger revenue, get a larger ticket. Our average ticket in the roofing days would used to be $10,000-$12,000. Now our average ticket's $40,000-$45,000. That's the big difference. But we're very confident with our JV partnership we did with John Dye at his contractor company that we're doing. We'll get a lot of roof solar projects that way as combos. Because the financing the solar financing is an excellent way to purchase a roof.
Okay. Do you think the Biden infrastructure bill will have an impact on SIRC's growth, and if so, how?
As I mentioned earlier, my grant guy said he's looking to get us either some contracts or some funding from that bill. Jason, did you have something to say?
Well, as we know, like the Biden's biggest push has been green renewable energy. That's the one thing that he's focused most his entire like presidency on. And we have a huge beneficiaries of that because the solar tax credit's been extended, as well as the incentives that are in place. I cannot see it not helping SARC with that infrastructure, and a majority of that money is going to be for green renewable energy, which is a space that we're actually in.
All right, beautiful. All right, so we're looking to get to the end of the questions. Is there anything else you guys would like to add in?
I think it's go ahead, Jason.
Well, I was just going to say, like, we met today Dave was over at my place, and we were just discussing where we're at and what we need to do, and it's incredible to see how fast that this has come together, and how quickly we're expanding, and the type of qualified, talented people that we're attracting. Because if you get the right people on the bus, then it's incredible what you can create and build. So I'm really very bullish. Obviously, I've invested my time and my energy in our company, and we have what we've been able to scale to with the help from SIRC and us merging together as one. For example, our relationship with Milholland and FHP, I feel like we're one company, where we've been able to streamline the process of solar to install faster. We've been able to communicate and we've been able to say, hey, you need this type of person here, and we've been able to help them add people on the ops side to make our job even better, and the communications improving. That I'm really bullish on the long term of what we're doing and the people that we're involving. So I'm excited to be a part of this. So thank you guys for all your support, and for everybody here that had those questions, and I'm happy to answer any questions for you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, there's another question here, Jason. It says, Jason, what is your current closing percentage? Your current closing percentage. Sit to closing.
I would say
it's probably 1 out of 10.
If it was me, yeah. But when it comes to there's a few of my guys that, like Ricardo, probably sits and closes with 8 to 9 out of 10 of the people he sits with, because what we offer is so different. And that's what's unique about our offering compared to Sunrun and some of these other big national players. They have one product that they push, and we can literally listen to the consumer's needs and tailor it to them, and actually ask them great qualified questions, and then say, all right, here's this option, and we move forward in that direction. So we have some incredible closers, but I would say we're north of 50% as a company, and some of our closers are 80 to 90% as well.
Hey, Jason, he was asking about you personally. I know you don't get asked every day anymore, but in your prime.
Let's see. Last week, I had 4 closes and talked to 4 people, so I guess it was 100%.
There's also someone keeps asking about question number 51. We can cover that if they like. It might be more of what percentage of your solar sales also get a roof added on?
He's looking for margin impacts and maybe commission expenses.
Yeah, I guess we did cover that. Now with Jason sales, they go out and sell the solar deal, then we do a site assessment where at that time we're trying to do the roof add-on if necessary or needed. So it's really helping to get the margins and the revenue up on Jason's side.
All right, guys. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jason.
Hey, it was our pleasure. Thanks, everyone, for the great questions. These are the best questions we've had. Some were difficult. We almost have to get back to you on some. We got some homework for Troy to get the LinkedIn done, and I'll get you some real numbers from Simco.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. I feel like it was great. These questions were phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to the next Q&A.
Yep. Thanks so much, guys.
All righty,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right.